that it's obviously over at this point, but we're not sure, what happened beyond that.
Yeah, we're hearing that there are reports of 50 gunshots. That's an awful lot of firepower.
There were at least 50 gunshots. Mm-hmm. I feel highly confident saying that. Okay. I'm no expert on guns, so I have no idea what kind of gun it could have been. So,
where were the people that are in your apartment? Where were they when the shots rang out?
They were on the baseball field.
On the field, but not in the dugout. Yes.
I guess I don't know that far. When I say field, I mean in the general proximal zone of the baseball field.
And how long did they stay in your apartment? What has happened to them? How did that turn out? What happened?
So they were there for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. We got them some water and gave them our phones so that way they could call their. One of the gentlemen called his wife. Another one was trying to get through to his office just to let them know that they were okay. And the three of them were okay. None of them had anything more than I think a scratch from just playing baseball.
Do you know who they are? Yeah. Ben, do you know their identities, who they are?
I don't think that's appropriate.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. What can you see now?
Well, I guess the better answer is about 5 minutes ago when I was standing there, I could see about, 40 cop cars. There were 2 helicopters that had come in. One came in and took somebody away. Another one came in and, let's turn right here, and didn't take anybody away. There are about 100, police officers there. They're FBI agents. They're sheriffs, from the city of Alexandria. And then there are, helicopters flying over I'm down by the middle school right now walking my dog. So.
For those viewers who are joining us at this hour, what we are learning is that Republican Congressman Steve Scalise, who is a member of the House Republican leadership, has been shot. He is reportedly in stable condition. He has been medevaced to a hospital. We are told that about at least 4 other people were shot, including reportedly 2 Capitol policemen who went to the defense of those on the field. We should note, too, that the reason that these members of Congress were on the field is that they were practicing for tomorrow's congressional baseball game. And that is one of the few bipartisan events left in Washington, D.C., something that has been going on for more than 100 years, where Democrats and Republicans engage in sport. Yeah. In a friendly way, and this is really just terrible to hear that this has happened this morning.
It's the last kind of place you want to see this kind of act take place. Let's go back to Nancy Cordes, who can tell us more about this baseball game and what it means to the members of Congress who participate.
Well, it's a longstanding tradition, Charlie. It dates back to 1909. The game was supposed to take place tomorrow, and CBS News has confirmed that while this was a Republican practice, the Democratic practice was going on just a few miles away. And Democrats, when they heard that this shooting had taken place, they immediately stopped and began to pray together for the victims. So an incredibly poignant situation here where you had members of Congress, their staffers, and now apparently Capitol Hill police officers as well, just trying to have a good time in these early morning hours before the day here on Capitol Hill really gets going. And now they are all in mourning together over the fact that this shooting took place, and obviously hoping that the victims are okay. Steve Scalise, as you mentioned, is the House Majority Whip. It's a very high-profile, highly visible leadership role. His job essentially is to count votes here on Capitol Hill, which may seem like an easy task, but when you've got members who sometimes don't want to say how they're going to vote, they want to hold off and see which way the wind blows, perhaps they're changing their mind. He is the person who is responsible for arm twisting, talking to members, cajoling them, and giving the Speaker of the House a realistic portrayal of whether he has the votes on a piece of legislation or not. And so Steve Scalise has been a very busy man in recent months because, as you know, the health care bill in the House really came down to the wire in the end. It only passed by 1 vote. And Steve Scalise would have been the man who knew better than anyone the moment that they had enough votes to pass that bill. So he is vitally important to the Speaker of the House. He's someone who gets to know every single Republican member of the House of Representatives and many Democrats as well. And so he's a very genial personality here on Capitol Hill. That's the kind of person you need to be to have that role. And there's a reason why he was chosen for it. And so there are a lot of Republicans and a lot of Democrats who know him well and who are going to be devastated by this news and hoping, if reports are true, that he actually is going to pull through and be all right.
Nancy, thank you so much. We can report the suspect is in custody. That suspect is one of the people wounded in the shooting. Steve Dorsey with CBS News Radio talked to a witness named Dave Miller. Let's listen to what he said.
Lots of shots. It had to be going on for 3 to 5 minutes, if not longer. Everything seems longer. There were people that were playing baseball over here, and they were running through this dog park development and like on their hands and knees. So we opened up the door, the side door to our building, and hollered for them to come in to get some kind of shelter, because at that point no one really knew what was happening. So we just thought having shelter was probably the best case.
How many shots did you hear?
There had to be
100 shots, and did you see anything happen?
We didn't see any of the gunfire. It looks like it happened right over the crest from where we're standing at the YMCA or in that general vicinity. There is a bullet hole in the side of this relatively new construction of a facade around some electrical equipment. You can see it up there if you want to take a look later.
I think we can report that it's been confirmed that the suspect is, in fact, in custody, and that I think we heard that he may have been injured himself.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
We did hear that.
He was one of those shot, reportedly by some of the Capitol Police officers who were there. Nancy Cordes, can I ask you, is one of the reasons that the Capitol Police were there was because there was a member of the leadership actually practicing, that in fact because he was there, that it may have saved the lives of many of those there?
That is probably the case, Nora, but we don't know for sure whether these were members of Scalise's private security detail or whether they were involved in the practice somehow themselves. You know, members of Congress get to know the members of the Capitol Hill Police Corps pretty well. It is a very close-knit group, and members of Congress rely on them for their safety. They see them every time they come into the building. They get to know them by name. So it's certainly possible that some of these Capitol Hill police officers were practicing and part of the game themselves. So that's what we're still waiting to figure out, if these 2 Capitol Hill police officers who were injured were there in their capacity as Scalise's private security detail, or if they were just there and playing. Still so many things that we're trying to learn about this incident.
Nancy, we know that Congressman Scalise has been taken by medevac away. He's a member of the House of Representatives, a Republican member of the House of Representatives, doing the duties that you have described. Do we know if there were any United States senators there at the practice?
We've heard various stories about which members were there, who wasn't. We've heard that Senator Rand Paul has been talking about what took place there. We know of other Republican senators who were on the team, like Jeff Flake of Arizona. And so we're still in the process of figuring out who was there and who wasn't.
Good morning. I'm Amanda Davis. You've been watching a special report about that shooting in Alexandria, Virginia. 1 Republican congressman and 4 others have been shot. We also just learned that Georgia Congressman Barry Loudermilk was there on this baseball field where these congressmen were getting ready for a baseball game that's going to be played tomorrow, Democrats versus Republicans. We understand that Congressman Loudermilk is okay. We'll continue to follow this breaking news story in Washington. Right now, we have the latest on our top story. It's day 2 in an intense manhunt for 2 escaped prisoners. CBS 46's Adam Harding is in Putnam County.
50 shots. It was a semi-automatic rifle, and like 5 people were shot. That's all I heard.
You work at the Y that's right next to where this baseball field is. And can you tell me what this community is like? Is this, I mean, this is an unusual circumstance here.
Very unusual. It's a great community, you know, no problems. It's very quiet around here, you know, it's great people. So it's just crazy to hear something like that happen.
Who did you hear those eyewitness accounts from?
I heard it from a neighbor down the street, and then my mother called and told me about it. She seen it on the news.
And what are you being told about work, going to work right now?
I'm told that they're not really letting nobody in, and they're not really letting nobody out. So just hold tight until everything clears up.
Okay. It's Xavierr, Ducks, Ducks, Worth, Worth, all one word. We're going to be live on Channel 7 in just a second. Can I talk to you again in just a moment? Just stay right here. These folks may have some Ducksworth, but he's got to go. So if you guys want us, take us now.
By chance? No, I didn't see it. You just heard about it. Yeah, I just heard about it.
Xavier, I'm with the Washington Post. Do we have a Hey, Irene.
Did you see what happened?
I'm about to interview him live. Okay.
You're
gonna
coming into work. You're just coming into work.
Yeah.
I
was just coming. In.
I want to get
that way. Like it was like
stand by, Mike.
It was like 3 cops that passed me, and there was a cop already behind me. So and they shot, and he just pulled off and put his sirens on. I was wondering what was going on, and then there was another cop that he was coming down the street, and I was like, "What's going on? Why so many police out today?" And then when I was coming up to the light, I seen I was blocked off all the way down, and I was just like...
All right, I'm talking right now with Xavierr Ducksworth, who is an intern at the Y, which is right next to where the baseball field is taking place. Xavier, you said you were going to talk to us. Can you just describe for us what you're hearing about the situation here at the ball field?
I heard it was a charity event, a congressman charity event, and then I heard a guy shot at least 5 people, had a semi-automatic rifle, and nobody knows the conditions of the 5 people right now. That's just all I heard.
What are you being told by your coworkers about the area, how secure it is, if you can get into work?
I've been told that they're not letting anybody in, they're not letting anybody out, so just to hold tight.
How long have you worked for the YMCA?
I've been working with the YMCA since January.
Is this a safe neighborhood? I mean, what's your reaction to what has happened here?
It's a very safe neighborhood. It's just very unusual to hear anything about this, so it's kind of surprising me because, you know, everybody's so tight around here, and it's just, I don't know. It's unexplainable.
We've heard that there were shots fired into or shots hit the window of the YMCA where you work. Can you confirm that?
I can't confirm that because I wasn't in, so I can't confirm it.
Is everyone safe at the YMCA where you work?
Yes, I believe so.
Can you just reiterate what you did see or hear?
I just heard that it was shots fired around near the YMCA, at the baseball field close to the YMCA, and 5 people were hit.
But you didn't see that yourself?
I didn't see it myself.
Can you describe the emergency response that you saw?
It was, when I was coming in, I seen it was a cop behind me, and then it was 3 cops that just passed by, and then the cop behind me, he just took off, put his lights on and took off. And then when I pulled up to the light down the street, I seen it was all blocked off. So, and then I seen the helicopter, and it's just crazy.
What did your supervisor tell you about the people who were in the Y at the time? Did they evacuate, or did they shelter in place, or what did they say happened?
He didn't say, but I believe that they sheltered.
Other than yourself, were there any other pedestrians or perhaps drivers who may have saw what you saw? I mean, was it crowded, or was it just kind of an empty morning?
It was crowded. I mean, I'm not sure what anybody else seen, so yeah.
So that is the description that we're hearing from Xavierr Ducksworth. Obviously, somebody was just trying to come into work. Let's just give you a look back here. You can see there's still an extensive police presence here. They are continuing to respond, continuing to try and figure out what happened here. We're about a block or so from where the shooting took place. You can see that both sides of the street absolutely flanked with Alexandria police officer, Alexandria Fire and EMS as they continue to respond to this incident. Now about an hour hour and 15 minutes old. We are right at the corner of DeWitt and Monroe, right here at St. Andrew's Church. A lot of residents standing around trying to figure out what happened. There were some people who were able to get on social media. One person was able to periscope the event and talk about what he had heard. He actually describes how several members of Congress, 2 members of Congress, came into his apartment to shelter from what had happened. Authorities here right now not giving us any additional information. Clearly, they are still trying to figure out what happened here. A very active scene, but this is very unusual for this Delray neighborhood. This is a close-knit neighborhood, close to the city, but feels very suburban in the sense that people know each other here. There are lots of local businesses here. So clearly people just in shock this morning by what has happened at this Republican softball practice. Back to you. Let's go see who this. Let's just be mobile, okay? Excuse me.
Thank you. I just used
Gonna
the
try.
camera mic.
Okay, I was going to grab it.
How many people? 5 hit that you know of?
The 5 hit. I think it's 2 Capitol Police officers, Scalise, and 1 staffer, and then we don't know who the 5th is.
No conditions?
It doesn't sound like anything's like that.
Okay.
Okay.
I got it.
All right, I'll let you know if I hear anything. No problem. I want to go over here and just see who this is. Yeah, go ahead. No problem, sir. No problem.
Church parking only. And I will have it towed.
And I'm going to tell you right now, we're moving it.
Thank you.
All you need to say, Mike, put it right here.
It says no parking.
Sir,
Church only, you'll be towed.
sir, you've beaten that horse to death. We've got it. We're moving.
You can read. I need you to go.
Yeah. Okay, this is right, right? They're taking right now.
Hello, gentlemen. Our media staging area is at Mount Vernon and Monroe. Our media staging unit should be at Mount Vernon and Monroe. I don't care. I told you wait, my supervisor. Oh, roger that. I apologize. Yeah.
Right.
All right, sir.
Yep.
Back behind the tape for me.
Yep. Ma'am.
in one vehicle.
I'm sorry? Okay, just let you know. Bye.